Well, hey Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this video, sponsored by Artrovo Gundam, link in the description, I'm going to be taking a look at the Mobile Suit MSN06S2 Sinanju Stein narrative version Ver.Ka. Yeah, so this is a 1/100 scale Gunpla, and it's actually featured in narrative. It's piloted by Zoltan, the truly failed Char clone. I built two other Ver.Kas and it wasn't the best experience, but you know what? This was something different, so I'm gonna dive in. All right, and here we go. Here's the Sinanju Stein. Again, thanks to Artrovo Gundam for providing the kit to me. You can check the link in the description I have. There's a promo code Gundam Explained 78. That'll actually give you shipping if you buy 2 items or more. That's a pretty good deal, so please check that out. Yeah, first glance of the kit, this thing looks great. I did panel line, put decals, and I did a matte top coat. But let me take off the gear so we can get a better look. All right, and here it is, just, you know, plain and simple without all the gear on it and stuff. And you know, this is a very cool looking suit in general. Just, you know, when it comes to the lore and where it came from, the new Gundam and the Sinanju, all that stuff, you know, I like that evolution of suits. But what's fun about this is the Ver.Ka sort of real tight markings. I love the decals on mobile suits. I think it just adds something. And really, I love the types of decals that are on this. And there were so many. There was over 100. I was even going crazy. I think I spent more time putting on the decals than I did actually building it, just because there's so much. I want to get the placement right. Mistakes were made, had to fix that. But the build itself was actually very fun for Ver.Ka. In fact, I didn't really have any issues at all. I guess the only thing that was an issue, and it was my personal issue, was there's a different inner armor piece for the legs that comes with it. It could be from like a previous kit, but I had that on, and so I couldn't get other pieces on, and it took me a little bit to realize it. But you know, starting from the top, we can see where the head is and where I've, again, panel lined. And I'm not the type to go too heavy on panel lining. Sometimes I like it to look more organic or like it's shading. And I didn't do too much detailing other than that. I think the eyes look great, even with the type of sticker it is. It kind of gives that little glow from the light reflection. And then you got the chest piece here, which looks great because I love that it has the color separated pieces, so this is not a decal or anything. I think that's very helpful of making this just look cool. And it's the same thing they did with the sleeves, since this is with the sleeves. Same thing, color separation here, kind of fun to put together, because this did give the feeling I like when building a model kit, that it's like I'm putting together a machine. It's got that inner frame, just putting the panels together for the sleeves, and even that chest piece just felt very organic and natural. Oh, and already noticed my one complaint with this, and I think people would agree, and it's this. You can barely see. It's, let's see if I can get it in the shot here. It's a finger. It's a finger. This is the type of hand where it's really cool because it's super articulated, and that's actually really awesome. But one finger just keeps falling off. Yeah, I could put some super glue on there, kind of tighten that joint, but it's just kind of a pain to deal with. Luckily, it actually came with a trigger finger hand, a fully complete one. So to be honest, that's awesome. That almost alleviates my concerns because I know when I'm having it hold a weapon, I can just keep that hand on. All right, and then working our way more down, again, more areas to add the decals, which look fantastic. You know, the reflective stickers I put on here around the thrusters. Some people prefer to paint. I kind of like the way it looks like that. There, you can actually see some decal damage. I just noticed. I messed that up. I could probably fix that. I wonder if that was from when I was putting the top coat on there, because I think the top coat really gives this a nice clean finish. And, you know, in fact, that's something I could probably easily just clear and like paint on. So when it comes to build, this is super fun. Out of all the Ver.Kas I've built, which there's 2 others I'll show here shortly, this has been fun in general. Just for a master grade 1/100 scale, this was really fun to build. I didn't have any issues with any pieces. I don't have things falling apart other than the finger, but you know, that's a given. I've used those hands before. But normally with Ver.Kas, arms tend to fall off, and that's really not the case here. It does have some really good articulation too. Just having the elbow go up to that degree is awesome, especially when using beam sabers. The shoulder moves forward a whole lot. You know, for model kits, sometimes articulation doesn't matter, but for me, since I'm a big action figure guy, I really like it when the model kits have that full range of motion, so you can really get it in whatever pose you want to. I mean, the head does a lot. I mean, it looks down quite a bit. It even looks up good enough. But the waist, let's see. I haven't pulled this back yet. It seems to be a little bit limited going back and even going forward. Not too much there, but not too big of a deal either. It can turn, so that's pretty good. And it's got the skirt armor that gets out of the way so that you can do whatever you want with the legs. So yeah, you get quite a bit of range there. I mean, that looks great, actually. I mean, that's kind of more than you need. On the back here, it even has the little thrusters that come out, so that looks good. And you know what? I could, and that would be neat to put like gunmetal or silver on there, actually, just to give another little bit of detail on there. I think that would look really good. And what's neat with the wrists here is this is actually where the beam saber is kept. You kind of open it up here, beam saber right there to pull out. Kind of neat little thing. I don't really have too much of an issue with that. I thought I would. Even attaching the shield on here, which we'll look at here in a second. And then here's the beam saber. It does come with that little piece that we've seen on some other master grades where you can then plug it into the hand. Here is the backpack, and it looks great. This is another one that I put decals on. Panel lined where necessary, did a top coat. I think this turned out really good, and it looks really cool on the Sinanju Stein. I love the look of having like the thrusters and the canisters here. And then a look at the shield also. Looking nice. Again, I love that I could put decals on here, color separation piece for the sleeve Xeon symbol right here, and top coat again, and I think it really turned out really nice. Again, I'm not an expert Gunpla builder, but just using some basic techniques like panel lining, top coating, and then using the decals, you could really make something look as cool as the production photos. Another cool thing with the shield is how it holds a lot of the stuff. So some of the pictures I have of the beam javelin in its full form, I have that set up, but I do like how you can just plug it all in back here, and it kind of adds additional kind of look to it. And then here's where there's a cannon right here. And then yeah, that just plugs on here easily. In fact, this is a tight hold. It's actually really hard to get it off, so I'm actually glad that it works that way. And then yeah, plugging in that backpack on here. Looks cool. Oh, also in the back, there is a place to put, it's a little finicky, but you could put the rocket launcher in here. Okay, now speaking of rocket launchers, let's look at the accessories. So this is a gun. That's right, this is a gun. I didn't actually put all the decals on here, but what's interesting is there is a gun that goes underneath this that you actually then put the shield on. And it has a lot of little gimmicks to it that's actually pretty neat. You can like add the rocket launcher underneath here, but then you could take this off and add a scope. And here is that scope, and that's if you were to take this apart, and you know, and depending the type of work you would do, if you were then to take it apart, and I was just thinking about that right now, that might mess up what you've already put together. Yeah, here's that scope I was talking about. Looks really cool with the sticker on there. And then the rocket launcher, which is always awesome. It extends. You can attach it to the bottom here, which is really nice. It also has the ammo on the back, which is also a cool little touch. And then also that has its own little scope and piece. So a lot of little gimmicks to set up like the weapon system however you want. Because again, we also have the beam saber. We also have enough effect parts that would normally come with a robot spirit, so that's awesome. Because we get like the smaller sort of blade, we get the larger one, or the tomahawk blade. And then we get these different ones here, which is also pretty neat. You also get some pilots, which you know what, I didn't paint. I normally don't do that, but maybe one day. I have them collected somewhere. But you get Zoltan, you get full frontal, and you also get them seating. And so I currently have Zoltan inside the cockpit, but also has full frontal, which is pretty neat. Oh, and just to show you like the stickers, the decals, so many. I didn't even put all of them on, even though a lot of them are doubles or extras or whatever. But it's actually nice to keep these. I have so many. Okay, so that was a look at the accessories, which I gotta say, for something like this, this nails it with accessories. Just because the amount of weapons and the gimmicks you can do with them just really adds to the character. Even the effect parts, like there's so many effect parts that are awesome. All right, let's take a look at the manual here. Very cool. Operation Phoenix Hunt, you know, from Narrative. That was kind of a fun time. Yeah, just kind of getting a look overall at some of the poses you can go with, or weapons you can use. I love that the beam tomahawk thing being like gigantic like that. I have a shot with that, but then also using them smaller like that. And then yeah, the gun system, it's very interesting, you know, how it has it set up. I really like that. And then even with the shield, showing how the I guess the connector pieces for the beam tomahawk parts can go in different ways, which is pretty nice. And again, I won't exhaust each one of these pages, but the build is actually very easy, very fun. Here's some cool background information. I always love it when they do that. And then even the kind of development tree here, we can kind of see where it kind of started with the narrative, which, you know, went into the new Gundam, went into the Sazabi, and then how it kind of morphed from there. And then we got the Sinanju, Stein, and then the Unicorn. A very cool family of units. And yes, here we go, the stickers, just to kind of give you an idea how many to do. Now, I think there's so many here that's why I was saying I think it takes longer to do this than the build, especially if you're using the water slides and you're trying to be accurate and you're taking your time so it comes out nice. I do think that takes a lot of time, but it is kind of fun. Sometimes it is very therapeutic to sit there and put decals on. So to be honest, I kind of don't mind, but I wonder if this is the most. Does anyone know of the mobile suit with the most decals? Because I think it even goes, I'm seeing it go to 130, 140. I'm seeing it go to 142. Okay, 145. 146. Yeah, that might be the number. I feel like that's a lot. I mean, I think it's gone up close to 100, but over 100. It's pretty crazy. Okay, let's pull this guy back out. Looks great, looks awesome. Again, this is a Ver.Ka. Let's look at the other Ver.Kas I have if they don't fall apart. Here is my first. This is the V2 Victory Gundam. I really like this. This is one that I also put the decals on, and I did a top coat, although, you know, it's kind of dusty. I've had it set up actually. Let me get my little duster out here and just kind of work on that a little bit. Okay, and some of it is probably the bad top coat job I did before, but no, it's pretty good. Also, I can feel the arm is already starting to come out over here on this side. You see how it's kind of wiggly? I feel like any second it's gonna just come off, which is the problem. And then with the gun, this thing tends to fall apart a lot. This was my first experience with the Ver.Ka, and I didn't like it. But that might not matter because the finished result here is I love this design in general. All right, we've got that. And then we got a recent one that I know is okay, it's already fallen apart on me. And that is the Zeta Gundam Ver.Ka. I was excited about this. This is strictly for show. Even though the proportions aren't exactly what I want, and I hate to like talk crap about it because at the same time I think it's still worth buying. I haven't even gone through and properly finished detailing it. There would just be some minor panel lining, but also the decals and do a top coat. The only reason I didn't get to it is because I was kind of disappointed with how it turned out. Again, every time I would go to display it or pick it up, this part comes out and there's a way to connect it back in, but you gotta like fiddle with it just until it gets in just right. And then also the arm, it seems to be fine right now, which is good, but this arm tends to fall off a lot. None of these problems I'm talking about did I experience at all with the Sinanju Stein here. This thing is definitely worth it if you could pick it up. And Artrovo Gundam has them. Again, pick this up, pick up another Ver.Ka. Use code GundamExplained78 again to get free shipping on 2 items or more. I think that's like a great deal. And it's a good way to get some kits you want. And again, it's a smaller shop that's trying to get bigger. It's someone that loves Gundam. Again, that's kind of like a dream for some, right? Have your own Gunpla shop. So I think it's cool to support him. All right, quick final look at these 3 together. I do also kind of like how they're probably all to scale with each other. And I know that scale between even real grades in general aren't always the same. I don't know if that's the case with Ver.Kas, but I think it works here because we do know that with SNRI, mobile suits do get a bit smaller. But what say you? Do you have a Ver.Ka you've built that you really like? I'm curious. And have you built this one? Because I'm curious what you think. This was an incredible build. It looks cool, especially with the panel lines, the decals, the top coating. I honestly couldn't have asked for a better experience when building a Ver.Ka. But yeah, let me know what other Ver.Kas you've built that you like, because I do want to get some more. I have so many high grades. I want to get back into kind of the Ver.Ka or master grades in general, because it does remind me of building a real grade. I'm working on that RX-78-2 Real Grade 2.0, and that has been so much fun. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the supporters that made this possible. Thanks to Artrovo Gundam for supplying the kit. Again, check the link in the description. Head over to Artrovo Gundam. You can use my link or just the code GundamExplained78 to get free shipping on 2 items or more. But yeah, until then, be cool.